Excellent.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to switch gears
Yes.
to teeth. There it is.
I'm so happy.
What do you
about my
have
teeth.
there?
Yes, I love my teeth. That's
love
the
your teeth.
biggest, the best decision I've ever made, besides
Really?
family and my daughter and my wife. but
Awesome.
yes,
Look, you're getting teary-eyed from that.
yes,
That's amazing.
yes, changed my life, 100%. And Dr. Vibert was the best.
Dr.
I
Vibert.
met him in the beginning, so when I first met him, I went to because I had the issues with my teeth for a long time, so I went, got a consultation, and then the next thing was, what do I do? Do I do it? It's not cheap. It takes some thinking. So I had some issues with my teeth over the years. I don't know if I should go into that.
Yeah, no, I'm
Well,
going to ask you about that.
Okay, so
But you finish your statement. That's fine.
so I go and then I'm like, it's either going to be dentures or implants, and I'm like, for a while I tried it only because of the money.
Right.
I had to make a decision if I'm going to commit to buying the implants because they are. They're not the cheapest thing.
And you wanted to research it a bit.
Yeah,
right?
so I did some research. Yeah, and
So
then
that
I
was
met
smart.
Dr.
You got
Vibert,
them in there
he was the
also to
best.
see how you don't want to live
Yes. So the problem was, I just couldn't eat what I wanted.
with the
The
dentures.
conscious decision I used to have to make and deal with friends, coworkers, of what to eat without letting people know. Oh, I can't bite into that sandwich. Like I can't eat a heavy crust or something. Like it was just uncomfortable. So I think I waited about a year and a half, which was way too long. I just couldn't deal with it no more. I went back to Dr. Vibert, had another meeting. We went over everything. I said, let's just do what we got to do and get it done. Yeah.
Good.
So that was
Good,
it.
good.
And then
Awesome.
from there, I got the temporary you have for a week, and then I get the next temporaries. They give you a couple temporaries to make sure everything fits. They adjust everything, the bite and all that. But after that, just the difference of the relief of eating whatever you want. Which, if you don't know about having these issues, you probably wouldn't understand what I'm saying. But coming from that, it's tremendous because I can eat whatever I want. I told my wife to go get almonds, peanuts. I could never eat that stuff. I would never eat any of that. And people would offer me food all the time, and I would remember saying, "No, I can't eat that. My teeth don't move."
Right. How did that make you feel? You talk about the coworkers. I mean, how did you really feel when you couldn't eat what you wanted to eat?
I would literally we would meet in the lunchroom sometimes, and they would, all kinds of stuff. I would get up and leave. Either take something with me, because then I'd cut it without people knowing. I'd have to cut it down
So
and
it was
bite
like
it.
embarrassing, or
Yeah, I didn't want them to know. And I think one or two guys knew, and I would just tell them, "Hey, listen, it bothers my teeth." I never even tell them the whole thing, that dentures will move, or
Yeah.
if you have dentures, they're not good. You don't have the support. You don't.
Right.
They're not in there. And then when I did the implants, the flip, the 100% confidence of biting. I could bite whatever eat.
awesome teeth you got there.
Yeah, it's such a good feeling though. It is. But then your whole look changes, your attitude changes, the confidence. I just feel like I can smile. Like, hi.
Yeah.
I didn't have that. I couldn't. A lot of times, they didn't even notice.
And being in your business, you probably wanted to smile, and
Yeah.
probably did you cover your mouth, or you just didn't smile?
So I have in the beginning, I don't have big lips. I never had that smile like some people have a smile where you see everything.
Yeah.
I didn't have that as much. The bottom you couldn't tell, and they were so uncomfortable that I literally went that year and a half without the bottom dentures because I could not wear them. But nobody knew. You couldn't see them because I would go like this,
Right. So
and you wouldn't see the bottom of my mouth.
right.
But I knew. And there is the problem eating.
Right.
I didn't have both in because I couldn't wear the bottom.
Right.
The bottom would continually move all the time. There was no support. You couldn't eat. You couldn't bite anything. And then if you did, I remember trying them, wearing them. I ate something. I had to leave and go take them out because that was literally the food was getting stuck.
And you're like, I'm not living like this.
I said, yeah. I said, that's it. I got to do it.
Yeah.
So I went and made the decision. And that was, like I said, it's the best decision ever. My family, everybody, they saw the difference in me because it's just huge. It's
The difference for you, or I mean, for most people, for you, it really sounds so total complete from how you probably look different now because you hold yourself different, right? When you walk
I
into a
would
room.
watch people on TV and their smiles, and you know how jealous I was? Like it was a subconscious thing. I'm probably getting a little personal, but that's how I felt. And I used to tell my wife about that. Like, look at her teeth. Look, you ever see the commercials with the teeth in either toothpaste or whatever? I'm like, and I'm sitting there saying, I don't even have any teeth right now. And that's the worst feeling. That's like 100, like that's reality. That's what it was. If you don't have the issues, you might not understand as much.
Right.
But when you're at that point, it was so bad where I couldn't do anything. I couldn't eat anything. And you take that stuff for granted. Now you're talking about
Exactly.
talking to people, how you look, how you feel, eating. None of that. It was always a constant issue. Always something in your head like,
Right.
oh, if I don't want them to know I don't have my dentures in, or I can't eat in front of them because my teeth are gonna move, or never mind, I can't even eat because I'd have to go home. We used to cut up the slice of pizza. I used to cut it up, eat it with a fork. And friends would see you sometimes. What are you doing? I like it like that.
There you are from Italy, and then
Yeah,
oh, I like it like that. Oh, so you had to
yeah,
work with it
Yeah.
and make excuses.
yeah. It was part of my life to deal with how to eat different, which was a pain in the butt. It was just not good.
Right.
Yeah. So then, flip to now, like I said, first thing I did, I went and got a steak. We went and celebrated, I got a steak.
You're not alone.
Yeah, so.
Not alone. That's
It's
awesome.
just, it's just, my whole life flipped upside down. Like from
180.
always worried about it, being self-confident, not being happy, to like, no matter what, I can do whatever I want.
My God.
I can eat whatever I want, smile, and it feels good. There's no issues, and forever smile. My God, it changed my life. It was so good. Like from everybody there, all right? I mean, just the whole process, from surgery to getting the teeth, the next set, the temporary ones. Every time, it's just easy, with making sure they fit, making sure the bite's good, and I'll never forget, too, the first day after surgery of the permanent ones, I called to ask him about the bleeding, and I had a little bleeding, which is normal. They give you an 800 number. So somebody calls me, like right away, within like 8 minutes, I think it was. It was Dr. Viber. I'm like, Dr. Viber? He called me from his cell. And he said, this is my cell. I'm expecting some nurse or some assistant. Are you okay?
In India.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it was Dr. Viber calling.
Awesome.
And and I knew from meeting him and speaking to him that he was the right guy, but that tells you all you need to know. This guy called me directly, and it was late. It was like 11 o'clock at night.
Wow.
Because my wife was like, just call, because I was bleeding. I just got the surgery done. It wasn't like a lot. And he's like, oh yeah, it's gonna happen for another day, whatever. He goes, I'm gonna send I think he sent something in for me for my,
Okay.
in fact, for the teeth, whatever. He sent some medication, but he called right away, and he was concerned. He goes, you need anything, you have my cell. You call me all the time.
Yes, you
Right
have-
there, I
you
just
have-
knew I had
right,
the
you
best.
have
I
a
made the right
cell.
decision.
Right.
Yeah, but that tells you what kind of person he is, and that's how everybody there is the same. I got calls from them. I got, how's everything? Everything okay? Constant. I met them all.
So
So,
great.
yeah, it's really good.
I love your story. I have so many questions, but I just love how you are just so passionate about how your life has changed.
Yeah.
And you so appreciate that. Every day now, you appreciate
That's
that.
the thing, though. It was an impact. It impacted me like big, because this was, never mind my job dealing with people. To have a full mouth, full set of teeth, is huge. It's like what people take for granted. Normal people have, I didn't have anymore.
Right.
And those years were like very uncomfortable, because you felt like you didn't feel good about yourself. You didn't, never mind the problems eating and all the issues that came with it. You just didn't feel good, and it was like,
Right.
what do you do? And there's not a lot of options after that. Not options that'll give you the satisfaction that you really want. And like I said, this was life changing. This is really good. I'm
Have you
so
checked out-
happy. It was like the best decision I've ever made. I really believe that, 100%.
Awesome. Did you go and check out like just individual implants? Was that an option for you or no?
When I did the research that I did, and speaking to them at Forever Smile, I thought the only way to do it was to do them all.
One and done.
One and done. Yeah. And I kept seeing the things of, you can.
That's what I love best about this procedure, because you know how many times you've gone to the dentist.
Yeah.
The time, the money, the pain, right? Back and forth, there's something, and it's just going to keep on going your whole life. So now you're done.
Yeah.
You don't have to do that anymore.
Yes. And then he also told me, as long as I keep seeing them, any issues I have, they take care of me. I said, oh, that's great. Well, I'll be seeing you every time. And,
Amazing.
That's my new dentist.
So I was going to ask you about your history with the teeth, but it doesn't really matter at this point. I know you had, bridges, and but tell me about what was your defining moment that you knew you just couldn't live like this anymore.
The worst part of it all was eating and around people and just the uncomfortability it was to deal with that over and over and over. It was just, I was kind of ashamed, like, in a way. I'm like, I got, I was hiding it. Part of my routine was to hide it.
And that's terrible. You don't feel like you're an honest, open person.
Right. And
it affects you.
Yeah, and like I'm like just hiding it from people, not talking about it, and having to deal with it literally every day. It was part of my routine, like I said.
Many times a day.
If I had to eat, I'd have to hide it or go somewhere, eat by myself, or watch what I eat. Like everybody would order the big heroes. I couldn't bite into a hero. I could not do it. And it was uncomfortable. And I didn't have the when you have teeth, you can bite into whatever you want. I didn't have that because I didn't have any support from the teeth. The dentures had no support. I didn't have the bottoms in anymore. So think about not having your teeth and biting down.
There's nothing to bite on.
Yeah, you can't. You'd have to cut your food up. And then that's what I did not want to do that. Yeah. I'm not going to live the rest of my life cutting food. And that was it.
It is bad for so many, for your health issues. You're not chewing your food properly. It gets stomach issues. Your health, your whole body's health is a reflection of your teeth. Right. That's where it all starts. Right. It's systemic into your body. So any infections, which I'm sure you had infections too, right?
Yeah. And I don't have no more cavities, no root canals. I don't have to deal with any of that stuff. Yeah. But the other part of that is the other side, how you feel, how you look. Because like I said, I smile now like no problem. I catch myself looking at them all the time. And I'm like, how do my teeth look?
Beautiful.
I get like a kid about it. Like it's very, like I said.
Do people say things to you?
Yeah. And then people I work, I used to always tell them, like I'm getting them done, I have temporaries. Like I would lie to them. Even when I had dentures, I was telling them, yeah, I'm getting temporaries. These are temporary right now. I'm waiting. Because I just felt ashamed of saying that I didn't even have teeth.
Oh my God. No, you were going to tell me about, I wanted to hear about the $100,000 bar.
Oh, all right.
What's that story? It was great.
Yes. All right. So, the first, if we go back to how I got in this position. So I was missing my front two teeth when I was like 16. So they put two posts in the crown. When they put the two teeth in, they put a new teeth over it. So I had, that lasted, I don't know, maybe 10 years. One of my teeth got loose. And the dentist said, you can't really replace the post because there's no support in there. He goes, why don't we come up with a bridge? I said, what is that? And he said, well, you have a little pointy tooth here. You're missing two. What we do is we take those two teeth, we nub them down, we make a bridge. So I said, okay, we did the bridge. So that lasted a while. They get cemented in, right? You have a nice little smile with it. After 10, 12 years, I bit into a frozen $100,000 bar. I remember it like it was yesterday. I bit into it and they flipped right up. And I never forget. I'm like, oh my God. And I looked and I could feel it with my tongue. I had the two little nubs and nothing else. And that's what led me down the road to get implants. That was the thing. Actually, if we want to go that route, I have them to show you. This is what I had. So this was in there.
Oh,
and it went like that.
Hold it up to this camera on this side right here. Just hold it out. Right in front of you, center. Oh, that is fine.
And you can see where the two holes are, where they put and this got cemented in. And it lasted. It was wild. Look, it's reinforced with steel, but it's not what I had,
Right.
And once this broke, it was over. And then after that, I only had nubs. So you had little nubs. They look like baby teeth almost,
Yeah, well, yeah, they file them down so they can secure it, but it's not a lifelong solution.
No, I got some years out of it. You know, it was okay, but that was
So then you did your research, and you found Forever Smile.
Yes.
Did you go to anybody else first?
No, I had another dentist that would help. I went to a couple of dentists, but they didn't do it. They would always send me out. So I started looking up implants exclusively. Yeah, and then they came up. There was a couple of different places, but I went there. I did actually go to another place, but I really didn't feel like the vibe with them. So when I went to Forever Smile, which was right here in Hartford, I went there, and from the beginning, I just felt different. It was just, like I said, I met Dr. Viber the first visit. When I met him, and I'm not just saying this, I'm being 100% honest. When I met him, I really thought me and him, I got along with him. I liked the way he was, how he presented himself, and what he taught, what he was telling me, and how he explained the whole process. And I said, I trusted him.
Yeah.
And
That's the most important thing.
that was the big part of the
You
decision.
trusted him.
Yeah.
That's huge. I mean, a lot of people talk about how he makes them feel, which is, amazing. That's his natural personality.
Yeah.
But that's a really important thing that you just said. You trusted his skill.
Yes.
You trusted his knowledge.
Yes, yeah. And he explained everything to me, what the process was going to be like. And
So you didn't feel the need to go someplace else.
no, after that, I said, what do we have to do? And that's when we started setting up the visits. I went,
Right.
they did all the pictures. And
Tell me about the financing.
so we went over, different issues of how to, ways to pay for it. So I ended up, I put some money down, and they got me approved for the rest. The payment's low, and I'm like, that works, let's go. And they got it done. Like
And they did it for you.
they did it for me. They did all the financing. I did put some cash down towards it, but the financing they did
But they were able
right
to
away.
help you.
Yeah,
That's
I
awesome.
didn't have to do anything but sign the paper. Got me approved. The payment,
Right.
makes sense.
Were you nervous to have the
I was
procedure?
like nervous, but like excited nervous, because like I'm actually doing it, and like it took a little while to come up to that decision.
Right.
Part of it was the money, and I'm like, but what am I doing?
Of course.
I'm investing in myself, and that was the biggest thing. I was investing in myself, and like I said, now looking back, I wish I did it earlier. I really do. It's like most people say that when they make a decision, but because
Right.
that was the only thing holding me back at that point was
It's the money.
yeah,
Right. But you figured out a way to do it.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
because it was that important.
Yeah,
A lot of people say, well, I could get a new truck or whatever, but you're investing in
This
yourself.
wasn't something I wanted. This is something I needed, which is a big difference. A want is something you want. Do you necessarily need it? Can you afford it? Then you decide that. But this, I needed this. I couldn't keep going that way.
For your whole being, you needed this.
Yeah. That's
Not
what I mean.
just-
Like everything changed. It's a game changer. If you're having teeth problems and you're having issues like I had, this resolved all of that. It took care of everything. And like
In 4 hours.
Yeah. Yeah, but right away though, even with the temps.
Because they're permanent.
You already felt, yeah. Like I didn't have to wait till the permanent, but
Nope.
right from the beginning, you felt different. Your whole persona changed.
Right.
Confidence, everything changed.
How was the surgery for you?
So we went in early that morning. Next thing you know, they're like, all right, count back from 10 or something, 5. I woke up, my teeth were done. It was painless. To be honest, I didn't feel anything. It really didn't hurt. It was like smooth. It was really, I was expecting like it to hurt some. It didn't really hurt, to be honest with you. A little bleeding, but nothing else.
I was going to say, when you woke up and they put that mirror in front and you flashed that smile,
Yeah.
what did that feel like?
Yeah, I took pictures and videos of that day. The next time when I got the first week they give you the temp is like really wide, and they do it for a reason. They want your gums to heal a certain way, so they didn't look like this. They looked okay, but he told me right off the bat, these are for a week. It's only for your gums to heal and the screws to heal. So the important thing is the screws of the implants to heal properly.
Right.
So when they do that, they put a temporary implant. It's like it was a little bigger, a little gaudier. And I talked a little.
Yeah,
You know.
'cause you weren't
He's like,
used to
trust me, which I do. I did. And he's like, well, it's only going to be in there for a week. And there's a reason why, and especially because I had a denture in the front, on the top. To have the thing there, he wanted my gums to heal a certain way, to heal properly, to accept.
Because the denture probably messed with them and made them sore.
It
And
affects your gums too, yeah.
Yes.
So when you, I guess they kind of healed their own way before. By doing this, he wants them to heal a certain way to accept the teeth.
with the teeth as opposed to the denture. That's
Yeah.
so interesting.
Yeah.
Very
And then the
cool.
first week I got the other ones. And I think after that, if I remember correctly, I think it was like 6 weeks maybe. But then I got another set.
Yeah. And with each one, you defined the look, the color.
Yes. Yeah. And
So how did that go for you? Were you happy? Did you make a lot of changes?
No, the first time I changed, it was also understanding that it's not the permanent. So I was
Right.
pretty easy going. Then they got smaller, and it felt
They look
better.
beautiful.
And
I love that they're not.
This we had a discussion about.
I love that they're not giant.
Yes, and that was the thing. I don't want them to look fake, and they, that was the thing. He goes, "You want like big ones, white ones?" I just don't want them to look out of place, And I
they
thought he
fit
did a
your
great
mouth
job.
beautifully. They
I think
really
he did
do.
I think it's perfect. Yeah. See, I can smile like you're
My
smiling.
forever smile.
Yeah,
That is awesome.
yeah. This is my forever smile.
Love you. You're the best. I knew when I spoke to you on the phone, I'm like, if this man doesn't agree, I'm going to be very sad. So,
Oh God.
that's awesome.
Yeah. But I'm being honest.
When did you have a lot of bruising or pain after surgery?
No, just like I said, a little bleeding that night.
You didn't have to take painkillers or.
He gave me like Tylenol,
Oh,
something like that. Nothing.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
it was
wasn't
pretty good.
That's great.
Saying the procedure I had, I was expecting it to hurt. I mean, I went through taking out the teeth. I've been through.
Yes.
People that don't have teeth problems don't know. There's a lot of pain with teeth.
Yeah.
If you have
But not necessarily. That's what I think people don't really realize is, and I would know also if I've had all this work done and having a tooth pulled is painful.
Yeah.
So you would think getting all your teeth out and having all this work, that's got to be painful, right?
Yeah, and
But every person
People-
tells me it's not.
this wasn't as bad. Like if you ever had an infection in your gums, in your teeth, like in the root, that hurts so bad. And everybody would be like, "Oh, I need painkiller." Painkillers don't have anything to do with an infection.
No.
You have to get an antibiotic, and that's like I knew so much.
Yeah.
Like I felt like not a dentist, but like, oh, I know that, I know this, because I had to deal with it.
A little
I had to
too
deal with root
educated.
canals, infections. I had all that, and they hurt. They hurt. There was a time when my teeth, I had problems where I wanted to yank them out. Yeah, it was like excruciating pain. This was nothing compared to that. Nothing. And I got a full mouth implant. Full mouth, top, bottom.
Isn't that unbelievable?
Yeah, yeah.
That's what I really want people to know is that they think and are afraid of pain. Everybody's afraid of pain. Nobody wants pain. So I do get that. It's a huge fear, and people do not get this done because they're afraid of the pain.
But I don't know how others felt. I didn't feel like pain.
No, they feel
there
the
was
same.
a little soreness, but like a little bit.
Right,
I really didn't like have an issue from day one.
Oh my
The
God.
next day, I think it was just a little bleeding, and that's it was bleeding. That's why I ended up calling him that night. But that was it.
Right.
Within a day or two, it just started already healing. After that,
What happened? You told me you called them that first. You called the emergency. Just tell me that.
yes.
What
So it
happened?
was late. I got home that night, and that night it was still bleeding, and my wife kept pestering me. Just call. They have a number. Just make sure. So when I called, I left a message right away, and he called me. It was Dr. Reiber that called right away. He called me right back. And it was like late at night, and I just was calling. I said I was trying to remember exactly what I said, but I think I was bleeding, and I just went, is it normal? I said, I think I was bleeding from my nose. I think.
Huh.
And I was trying to remember if that was. I don't even.
Yeah.
I don't remember exactly what it was.
I had anesthesia in you.
Yeah.
But what did you say about how you felt that he called you personally?
Yeah,
That
so-
made you feel.
Yeah, that made me. That's how I knew I made the right decision. I knew it all the time, but like this, he called me himself. I'm expecting some, nurse's aide or doctor's aide to call or somebody from the hotline.
Right.
It was him from his cell, and he goes, "Here, take my cell. This is my cell. If you need anything, anytime, day or night, you know. And we actually texted a couple times that day. The next day, I said, "Oh, everything's better. Thank you." And he's like, "Oh, great."
Great, great. Therein lies the trust,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Someone's not going to give you their cell phone if. That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
But that's, like I said, he was another part of why, a big part of why I ended up going with them.
Oh my God, I love it. What do people say to you when they see you
So
smile?
people, the people that I told was, temporary. When I've seen some of them recently, they're like, oh, without me saying anything, oh, you got them done. Like they know right off the bat, because obviously they see the bottoms. I didn't have bottoms.
Right, you couldn't see.
Yeah. They're like, oh, you got them done. I heard that numerous times from different people, and that made me feel good. In a way, that made me feel good.
Because it makes such a big difference, and you almost think, well, maybe if I cover my mouth, no one's going to see.
Yeah.
But that's not the case.
Yeah, and they notice right away.
Right.
And they all say, oh my God, it looks so good, it looks so good. And I do that thing, man. I go, yeah. And I chomp down for them. So yeah, buddy, I can eat anything I want.
Oh my God.
It feels so good, you know?
Good. That's the best.
Yeah.
Well, you are amazing, and I love your story. It makes me feel wonderful and happy for you.
Yeah.
Thank
you.
That you did it, even though there's always obstacles, right, in anything we do. But this was something like you said, and that was huge. That you needed it. You didn't just want it.
Yes.
And you knew it was going to change your life, but you probably didn't realize how much, or how much it really did affect you before, until you don't have it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
it makes you humble, like, yeah.
Yeah. No, it changed everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a great feeling. It's so. I feel so much confidence now. I feel like I always felt like I was missing something before, like I wasn't complete, because you're missing teeth and you can't do what everybody takes for granted.
Right.
And now I don't have to deal with that no more, which is huge.
And your smile is pretty infectious, I have to say. When you smile, I'm sure you make other people smile now. And that's the best gift.
I smile a lot more now. I do.
Sure.
A lot more.
And that's the best gift, because now you can give smiles
Yes.
to people.
Yes.
Thank you so much. It's
My
so
pleasure.
beautiful.
Thanks for speaking to me.
Thank you. I'll give you a hug.
Thank you. My pleasure.
I'm so happy for you.
Thank you.
This was really a great interview, and I thank you for being
Thank
so
you.
honest with us. And,